So let's go ahead and get straight in today's subject. You see, today I want to be really honest with you and for you to be honest with yourself and even honest with me. Would that be okay to be able to speak some truth into your life? Now, I'm going to be pretty sure there might be some people out there watching this who may dislike what I'm about to say. And you know what? I used to, many years ago, not like the idea of annoying those types of people. You see, no one likes to be challenged, right? I mean, have you ever been challenged on something and that just really affects you on the inside because you're like, oh my goodness, I don't believe that. You might even ridicule that person. You might even laugh at that person. But then you begin to look on the inside and realize, actually, that person may be speaking the truth. You see, yes, I am actually really live here, Kate. I am absolutely live right now. So thank you for that comment and great to have everyone here on Facebook. But what I'm really saying is that the following words that at the time I have with you right now might push up against some of your values, your belief systems about making transformations. Because over the years, the last 15 years, I've been coaching people to get success. And because of that, I've reached many people around the world. 218 countries, over 8 million downloads and views, whether it be on YouTube, my podcast, my apps. I mean, it's probably more than that if you include that. And because of that, I directly influence and speak to people. And I've noticed a familiar trend with those who succeed in money, in business, in health, in relationships, in their career, and those who do not. You see, why is it the one person with the exact same type of issue, maybe a different experience of how they came into that scenario, maybe very similar, but how can one person defy it all and make the transformation and experience something so profound and deep in their own personal power when someone else might not? Have you thought about how someone can be in the exact same situation but get a different perspective on life and actually react differently, even if a solution is right there before their very eyes? You see, I could give you a free session. I could get you something awesome. I could create you a custom hypnosis track with your name on it and achieve every one of your desires. And I know that that would work. But it only works for those who are willing to do something about it. Because I could give you that MP3 player. I could give you access to Mind Mastery where you personally get coached by me. But if you're not willing to put in the work, you're not going to make a change. And that to me is the pinnacle of all transformation. Are you doing the work? And be honest with me. Are you putting the time into yourself the exact same amount of time, if not more, than you are on Facebook, than you are watching TV, that you are playing computer games, that you are reading other just like novels and things, or watching movies, or going out for dinner and all those things? Are you really putting as much emphasis on yourself as to those things? You see, those things, nothing wrong with them. I have no problem with Facebook. I have no problem with going out to dinner and all those things. What I do have a problem is that if someone says they really want to let go of an issue, and they say to me, Joseph, I really want to let go of anxiety. It's the horrible thing in the world. And then I ask them, what have they really done about it? And they don't do anything about it. But they just do bits of it. Oh yeah, I listened to a few of your podcasts, Joseph, and I still have anxiety. Seriously, I wish that my podcast would eradicate anxiety, low self-esteem around the world if you just listen to one episode. I wish I could be that kind of magician, but you know what? It doesn't work that way. And usually, it won't work that way if you're putting more emphasis on doing other things. I mean, people will also say, look, Joseph, how did you get into the position that you're now influencing a lot of people. Like I said, there's real talk, and I really say this with all the love and energy to you as a person, because I do not want you to stay stuck. I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel as if you can't change, that it might work for others and it won't work for you. I don't want you to experience feeling stuck and alone ever again. And because of that, it's my duty and my service to tell you that if you're going to make your life the most beautiful yet challenging, most empowering thing that you'll ever do in the world, you must put in the work. Because as I said, people say about, how do I get into this position? How do you know this information about psychology or hypnosis? Do you know what? I've got the books. I've read hundreds and hundreds of books, hundreds and hundreds of audio programs. I've done so many live in-person trainings and seminars. I've been coached by people. I spend thousands and thousands of dollars every single year getting my mind where it needs to be. I invest that money. It's not like I have millions and millions of dollars to do that, right? I invest in myself. If it means I don't go on vacation, I don't go on holiday, I don't get the latest brand new iPhone, if it means I don't go out for dinner for the next 6 months because the thing that I want out of life is far more important, I will not do any of those things. And I do that today. And people might say that's sacrificing. That's not sacrificing. That is investing in who you are as a person. So before we think about, are we getting the results that we want in life? Think about, are you doing what you need to do to get the results? You see, I have many services, right? Now, some people might pay me $17,000 to spend over 12 days with me, like split into 4, 3 times a year, and they go into my home, and I get to work with them for 4 days straight, 3 times a year, access to all my work, get a custom hypnosis track, and so much more, like personal voice coaching and things like that on the phone. I do those things at the highest level. People will pay me that money. Why? Because it's the investment. On the lower level, I've got things like my custom hypnosis, I've got my mind mastery, I've got my hypnosis sessions. But we have to understand the value we put into ourselves is going to be the thing which makes the change. You might read one book for just $12. I've read books which I've paid $3 on Amazon, and they've transformed my life. But that $3 book would mean nothing to me if I did not read it, if I did not absorb it, if I did not take action on it, if I didn't apply it in my life. We have to do the work. And I'm being very real and honest with you. Are you investing time into yourself each and every day? That's what I do. The people I coach on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or a monthly basis, they put in the work. I coach people who don't do that. And guess what? They no longer become a part of my team or my family working with me because they're not putting the effort in. Because the definition that we need, the decisive thing we need, is to make sure that we are, at any given moment, teachable. Are we able to learn? Are we able to switch off something like Facebook or to not go out to the movies? Because we want something far more valuable than that. Whether it be a deeper connection with God, whether that be a deeper connection with yourself, whether that be confidence, whether that be beingness, wholeness, love, contentment, getting the relationship, getting the money that you want and what you're worth. Are we willing to put in that time? Are we willing to put in the dedication that it takes to succeed? Those who do things in the world who you admire did it through many, many hours of investing in themselves to get to that level. That is a fact. Now, if people say, yeah, I've done all the work in the whole world, right? Then people say that to me. I've done all of the above. I've done all these seminars and coaching trainings and all those types of things. Well, first of all, number one, we haven't done everything in the whole world. Trust me, there's things out there which you haven't done. different forms of therapy, different books. You haven't read everything, done everything, been on training seminars, had one-to-one coaches with everyone in the whole world, right? We haven't done that. So that's number one. And personally, I really believe if you were to work with me personally, the whole issue would disappear. So anyone says that, they're not working or applying the thing. And here's the other thing, right? And I say this with the greatest love and respect, and this will hopefully reframe the situation. You see, if someone comes to me, which happens once again quite regularly, that say they've seen 10 therapists, one after another, and they didn't get the results. Now, there's two things which can happen there. They went to 10 bad therapists, which I find kind of hard, right? I mean, there's many good ones out there. Out of 10, you'd think one would have helped that person. Or they haven't found to the core issue. Or maybe 3, there's something which is stopping you personally change, investing in yourself, right? And by investing, I mean like really thinking, what am I getting from the issue which is keeping me stuck here? What benefits am I getting from depression at an unconscious level, which is self-sabotaging my cycle of transformation? Because I really believe if you've done everything, which you can't have done, but if you have done everything, it must mean there's one person or one thing which is through all those things, or all those therapists, which has always been present there. And that's ourselves, right? I could go to 10 people, and if I haven't changed after working with the best people in the whole world, or even my local therapist, then I'm going to look on the inside, not to what they did, but what was really happening here. Why aren't I really changing? You see, when I begin to do that, I'm then beginning to understanding the cycles and the patterns in my life. Is it happening in other areas of my life where this story keeps on happening? You see, I really believe in you personally. I know for a fact you have all the resources. I know you have all the abilities to achieve the emotional freedom that you want. I know that to be true because everyone has that potentiality. The problem is, we have to meet the issue where it lives, which is the unconscious, and also sometimes we need more of a designed program for us, right? I mean, it's not going to be a one fit for everyone. Like I said, you can't just listen to 2 podcasts and expect your whole life to transform. It can happen, but don't have that level of expectation. Have the level of expectation of, what am I doing today to further myself in my life? Am I going to journal every day for the next 30 days? Am I going to hire someone? Am I going to invest $1,000? Or am I going to save up $20,000 to find the best person in the world? Am I going to save up for the next 3 years to save $150,000, $200,000 and work with Tony Robbins or some other guru out there, right? Are we willing to put that in? Because I know personally, and I don't say this to impress you, but I know personally, if I want something bad enough, I will sacrifice. And by sacrifice, I mean invest everything I possibly can. I will invest waking up earlier, despite having 2 jobs, despite having children, despite all those things, I will find the time. Everyone has the one thing we have, right? Money always replenishes, right? Where you get the state government pay or where we get a job, it always replenishes. Do you know what doesn't replenish? The one thing in the world which is not ever going to replenish is time. And what time, the value we put on it to get us to where we want to be, is the most valuable commodity that we ever have, because we're not going to get more of it. It's always running out. Right now, I may have wasted the last X amount of minutes on this video because that time has now gone. Hopefully, this amount of time is going to help you, give you a bit of a kick up the butt maybe to be able to get you to where you want to be. But we have to do something, even if we're feeling so low on ourselves. We get to the time where we feel like we're having a breakdown. When we're having a breakdown, it is time for a breakthrough. We must summon every bit of energy in ourselves. We must look for eating healthy. We must go out for that walk or go for a run. People say, I haven't got enough money to get fit, Joseph. Go for a walk, go for a run. There's pavements everywhere, there's fields everywhere. There's always a solution, guys. There's always a way. There's always a way of getting you to where you want to be, whether that be saving for the next 6 months, whether that be investing 1 hour every day, whether it be reading a book, whether it be meeting someone in person or asking questions, whatever it is, I promise you, there is always a way to get you to where you want to be. And I say that with as much love as I could possibly project out to you, because I care about you enough that I want you to realize, do not be a product of your environment. Do not be a product of your circumstance. Do not be a product of your past. Do not be a product of the world. Instead, allow yourself to be what you want to create in this world. So whatever the environment, we must stand up tall and walk strong and go, do you know what? I might not know how to get there. But do you know what? I'm going to do everything I possibly can. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to invest money. I'm not going to go out to the cinema. I'm not going to be eating junk food. I'm going to start to look after myself. I'm going to be so selfish that I'm going to look after number one, because I know when I do that, it's the most selfless thing you can do, because it means everyone in the world is going to see you showing up, being authentic. So go ahead and have that epiphany moment, that wake up that goes, do you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to invest that time. I'm going to invest money. I don't care if it's even with me, right? I mean, I don't operate from scarcity. If people don't want to buy my stuff, that's fine, because I know that other people will, right? It's just, I put stuff out there. I'm sure 1 or 2 people are going to buy that, right? I'm at peace with that. But we cannot complain about our past. We cannot complain about the present economy or anything like that, because that does nothing. It does something actually. It gives us reasons to stay the same. Those reasons and excuses will not give value in your life, and it will not give value to your children. It will not give value to the world. And in this time in the world, we have to do something for ourselves. We have to refuse to buy into those expectations of the past, or because someone did something to us, or the economy crashed and all those things. I know that it's hard, by the way. I'm not trying to play down that it's hard. Because if it wasn't hard, you probably don't want it enough. Do you know what I mean? If you want it enough, you will have to put hard work into it. That is part of the journey of life. You progress, you adapt, you learn, you grow, you put energy in to get something out. If it's not hard work, you're not putting enough energy in. It doesn't mean it has to be like negative or hard in a horrible way. It can be hard in an enjoyable way. It can be challenging, but it can be a curiosity process of going on the inside and digging deep and getting the help that you need. But we must assume responsibility. We must refuse to participate on our own story and own narrative even, right? What narrative, I'll try and say it again, right? What narrative are we speaking into our life? Be honest with yourself right here. What are you speaking into your life through your images that you make in your mind, the self-talk that you speak about, the things that you tell your friends or your family? What are we speaking into our life? Are we speaking scarcity? Are we speaking self-doubt? Are we speaking the same old story we've always done, and we keep on living out that story? You see, if you have, it's not a problem, right? Because in any moment, you can choose to be different. If you think of, say, for example, from movies, right? Even the superheroes usually aren't perfect straight away or all magnificent. They're in a situation where things weren't going right. Most stories, if you think of like how movies work, normal person or person going through a challenge or issue who then steps up and makes a difference in the world. You see, it's okay if you've experienced that stuff in the past. In fact, when people tell me, Joseph, I've been through all that stuff in the past, I'm like, thank goodness for that happened in the past and it's not happening right now, because right now you can do something differently. You do not have to be the same version of yourself from yesterday, last week, last year, for the last 20 years, last 50 years, even if you're in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, you can still choose to be different. So I say that with as much passion for you to assist you and hopefully position yourself that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And even say that on the inside. Yes, Joseph, I am willing to do whatever it takes. I will seek out your programs, or I'm going to seek out other books. I'm going to go on Amazon and look at the best reviewed books for self-development or depression or anxiety, or I'm going to seek out a local therapist. I'm going to do all these things, but I'm going to instigate the transformation because I know that other people aren't going to do it. I know that it's all on me. And you know what? That's a good thing, because if it's on you, you have control over the situation. If it's not on you, then you're not going to have any control. But if it is on you, which it is, we can assume responsibility for this moment right now and each subsequent moment to progress and learn and grow. You see, we've got two people. We've got the person who stays the same, replicating the exact same story of their life. We've got the other person who goes through the exact same scenario, but one day decides to invest in time, maybe money, but predominantly through time, to do whatever it takes, to read 5 books a week. I've read 5 books a week. I know lots of people who do that, right? You can do it. I don't even enjoy reading, and I've done it before. I like listening to things, but when I've found the book and it's not in audio form, I will read it because it's worth it. Even if I'm such a slow reader sometimes, I don't care. I'm going to do it because the value of doing it is far more than not doing it. That is where we have to be honest with ourselves, guys. I want us to be a team. I want us to be a unity. And it will be a disservice of you just to give you a fluffy talk and say, you're special, you're wonderful, you're worthy, you're good enough. I mean, you are, right? But on the other hand, I want to be real with you. Go, yeah, you are worthy. But do you know what? You're going to have to do something about this. Do you know what? You are beautiful and brilliant in every way. But do you know what? You're going to have to do and make some decisions if you want to be able to position yourself and lift yourself out of this worry, doubt, and anxiety. You might have to invest 2 hours a week. Now, if someone says to me right now in the comments, I can't invest 2 hours a week in myself, then we must not want it bad enough. I'm being blatantly honest with you. You could. I've got like 270 plus episodes on my podcast, and they usually last between 10 to 30 minutes, maybe a bit more, on average 20 minutes. You can listen to 270 plus days of information, right? If you listen to 20 minutes every single podcast, every day, even if you've listened to them before, but get that momentum, you will see a big transformation in your life. But the difference is that we have to do it. And 2 hours isn't enough. Like people in Mind Mastery, for example. I know I talk about Mind Mastery, and that's okay because it's my business. I'm very proud of it, and I love helping people on a more one-to-one level. But those people in Mind Mastery, they've declare to themselves that they're going to be the instigators of transformation, that together they're going to be a unit which begins to thrive, cheerleading each and every one of them on to get them to where they want to be. And I'm so proud of them because they are doing something in the world. They're either making more money, they're crushing anxiety, they're developing confidence, they're building new relationships, they're getting jobs, they're even switching jobs because they hated their job and they're looking for something new. And if they're here right now, they can give themselves a shout out. I'm not going to kind of name people, but they know who they are. They're thriving. Yes, it's a challenge, but they're investing time. I'm not saying you should join Mind Mastery. I mean, in fact, I don't want everyone to join Mind Mastery because I want special people in there, those who are willing to do whatever it takes, right? But that's an example of people investing money and investing 2 hours a week, even like speaking to me in person. Or you can go down different routes. It doesn't really matter. But what I'm really saying here, let's go ahead and decide together that despite where we are, despite where we've been through or what we've been through, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is what we do in this moment. I love you and appreciate you and want you to succeed so much that I'm prepared to get that fire, to get you to realize, look, if I could shake you a little bit, I probably would, just so I could possibly go, I believe in you so much, you just got to do this X, Y, Z. I wish I could do that in person. I wish I could do that. Yeah, you may want to come to one of my events or like I said, one of my retreats and so on. I'd really love that. And I'd be able to hug you and shake you maybe, like shake you into shape and also hug you that you're awesome and brilliant. I want to be those two people because I don't want to just keep you in the softness of your issue. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, you're worthy. Yes, you're good enough. Yes, you're capable. And on the flip side, yes, you have to put in the work. Before we start complaining as to why we're not getting our results because of other things, let's ask ourselves, what are we not doing? What are we doing and what we're not doing? Because if you can honestly say you've been to seeing everyone in the whole world, you've seeked out every solution. Now, I know that you haven't seeked out every solution because I haven't offered you every solution. Like, I haven't even started running my retreats yet, so there'll be one solution for you, right? But there's many other solutions out there, so we cannot even say we've tried everything. We've tried all the above, Joseph. No, you haven't. That's another excuse that we're telling ourselves. There's always something else to learn. You see, people have traveled the world to different religions, different spiritual practices, different therapies. There are so many vehicles of transformation, and we have to just use them all or find the right one for us. But do not play into the excuse of I've tried everything, Joseph, or I've tried everything, or it might work for others, but it won't work for me. That's an illusion because of the issue that we're experiencing. You see, if I didn't believe I was good enough, of course, I will not think it was going to work for me. Be at peace, but that's part of the issue. It's okay. It's okay to think it might not work for you. Doesn't mean it should stop you. There's many things happen in the world throughout history where people didn't believe could happen and it eventually did, whether science proved it or athletes proved it or whatever, biology proved it, it happened. You don't have to believe in something for it to work. In fact, many people will go when they've listened to like my work or my higher end programs are like, I don't know what happened, Joseph. I don't know how it works, but it worked. In fact, you don't even have to know how electricity works, but you use it every day. So don't buy into the belief that, okay, I'm not good enough. It might not work for me. It might work for others. That's just another illusion, right? That's a part of the issue. It's part of the symptom. It's a part of the narrative, the story that we've been told about, the belief that we've taken on through experience, but it does not have to be a reality. You can position yourself from a place of power by taking a stand and taking the time to do the work. So really, really be honest with yourself. Now, if you want to go ahead and invest more time, I'm going to personally do all I can this Sunday for you. So if you go to josephclough.info/webinar, you will be able to have an opportunity to speak to me in the chat box, ask me specific questions, even maybe verbally. Okay, my system does allow that, so we'll see how many questions we get with that amount of time, because I like to speak, I like to give as much applicable content as possible. There's like your motivation, your pep talk maybe for it, who knows. But if you want to spend time with me this Sunday, just go to josephclough.info/webinar, and I'm going to spend an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of my time with you, okay? I want to be able to spend that time with you to get you clear on the core issue, which could be the one decisive reason as to why you've gone to see lots of people, tried everything, it's not worked, because usually we're working on the symptoms. People have insomnia and they think, I need to be able to just work on the insomnia. No, you don't. You really don't. Insomnia is not the issue, it's something else. You see, that's just a symptom. And that's the same thing with many things in life, like weight loss. I just need to work on losing weight. No, we usually don't. We got to work on the conflict behind that, because that's just producing the weight issues. The anxiety, that's just a vehicle of something or it's a byproduct of something else. So I'm going to get you super clear on that, and also going to get you reframed and break limiting beliefs about what you're capable of in the world. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Once again, if you want to speak with me on Sunday, go to josephclough.info/webinar and you'll be able to go ahead and join me. Now, of course, there is a limitation. At the moment, my system only allows 100 people, so go ahead and sign up as soon as you can, and make sure you're in there early to avoid being disappointed, because there's going to be a lot of people in there. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Know that I'm trying to come from a place of love, passion for you, and wanting you to succeed. Honestly, I want you to succeed because why would that benefit me if I didn't want you to succeed? I mean, seriously. I mean, if you're like, oh, that Joseph, he's a bit of a shady character, telling me and being all real with me. Seriously, I have no investment in you. If I make you totally happy, you're not going to want to spend money on me, right? It makes sense. Why would I even want you to actually get the solution? But I'm not like that. Seriously, I want to help you. I want to be able to get you to where you want to be in life. I want you to shine. We need it right now in the world. So do yourself a favor and do the world a favor and commit to yourself to make a difference. You are the instigator. You are powerful, but do the work to make that happen. Give up those illusions, give up that old narrative and story you may have been telling yourself and make the change, okay? So I look forward to speaking to you on Sunday, live and in person on the webinar, the free live coaching session. It will be live, so go ahead and join me then. Have the most wonderful day. Know that I believe in you, and just go ahead and do the work and make that happen. Many thanks and goodbye.